A lot of folk are asking for my perspective on what is now day 6 of the Iran war. And so this is only my opinion. They're like buttholes. Everybody got one, but you asked for it. So, all right, listen up. I grew up as a son of a Marine Corps EOD battalion commander, explosive ordnance disposal. I am a 1st Battalion Canoa Bay brat. I don't know everything. I got an interesting perspective growing up around my big brothers. When you grow up around EOD techs, you learn one thing early: don't panic, analyze. So, we're going to walk through a lot of what's been circulating and look at this thing from a myriad of different perspectives, line by line, slow, clear, as y'all in the Believing Soldier Battalion have asked me to do. Not exaggerated, not playing into the psychological media warfare, because the implications of which can be serious. So they had a strike on Bahrain oil infrastructure. This is an oil refinery in Bahrain. Missile hit the facility. Fire broke out. Refinery kept running, but barely. That's important because it would mean that Iran is no longer focused on military targets. They're focused on targeting energy infrastructure. In a modern war, energy infrastructure is extremely strategic because equal to oil is what oil fuels: transportation, logics, electricity, military mobility, economic stability. You hit oil, you hit the entire system. Then there's those Amazon Web Service data centers that were hit. 2 in the UAE, 1 in Bahrain. It's a historic shift. Data centers, they're not just tech facilities. They run banking systems, government networks, communications, intelligence infrastructure, cloud, corporate services. Taking them out would mean the internet itself has become a battlefield. And that is the next generation of warfare. Not just bombs, digital infrastructure. Now, Congress, both houses, voted on stopping this and failed to block the continuation of these military operations. Congress, regardless of what the media is telling you, has chosen not to intervene. Historically, it signals one thing: the executive branch has room to operate militarily. And wars with open timelines tend to grow. Now, there's these ships. The report says an Iranian tanker with 208 crew members was detained in Sri Lanka after a naval confrontation took place nearby. Neutral countries rarely detain war-related vessels unless international pressure or safety concerns demand it. The last time similar naval detentions happened widely was in World War II, which is why this claim is a bit dramatic. Now, there's another report that states Iran launched drone strikes on Azerbaijan. a country not directly involved in the conflict, claims a missile headed toward Turkish airspace was intercepted by NATO defenses. Listen, y'all, if this is going on, it's signaling something serious, that the conflict has expanded toward NATO territory. And once NATO is touched, even indirectly, global risk rises dramatically. Ships in the Persian Gulf experiencing a crisis. Over 20,000 seafarers, 15,000 cruise passengers are stranded due to the closure of shipping routes. The Strait of Hormuz is one of the most important choke points on Earth. Literally. Approximately 20% of the world's oil supply moves directly through it. If that corridor shuts down, the global economy feels it almost immediately. Everything rises and falls on leadership. President Trump has reportedly suggested that we are going to help determine Iran's future leadership. Meanwhile, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard leadership has reportedly promised escalation. Statements like they are not negotiation language, they're survival language. And when states believe that they're fighting for survival, escalation becomes much more likely. Now, Japan, they import more than 90% of its oil from the Middle East. If shipping lanes become unstable, Japan has one immediate tool: strategic reserves. Releasing them helps stabilize domestic energy markets, but it also signals concerns about long-term supply. That's the cost of war. This is already costing our country, some say, about $1 billion a day. Modern warfare is expensive. Precision weapons, carrier groups, logistics, air operations, cyber operations, every single day of high intensity conflict costs massive amounts of money. Now, this Iranian Revolutionary Guard leadership has been promising future attacks would be more intense and widespread. That kind of rhetoric signals one thing: the conflict is not approaching resolution. It's entering the psychological phase where both sides try to project resolve. Here's the most important part that we all gotta understand in the middle of this. I don't know it all, man. This little glimpse. It's my opinion on a couple of points. Growing up around my brothers, EOD Marine Techs teaches you something critical. Not every explosion you hear is real. Sometimes it's propaganda, sometimes psychological warfare, sometimes just misinformation, strategic signaling. Before you react emotionally, you verify, always. Because in the information gap, narratives, I know a little bit about it, they become weapons too. Now, I thought about a bunch of things. You can weigh in on your opinion. True or not. But the bigger question remains: are people paying attention to how fragile our global systems are actually becoming? Energy, shipping, data infrastructure, financial markets, they're all interconnected, they're all vulnerable, and all capable of affecting people everywhere. So stay informed. But more importantly, stay skeptical, stay analytical, because information can be just as powerful as explosives, and sometimes even more dangerous. Hey man, it's your first battalion brat EOD report. Don't don't believe the hype. don't 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 believe the hype. Analyze and make educated, informed decisions. Make sure you're planning for the future of your children.